This video that I am recording here is an additional benefit for those of you who have signed up for the Bluehost hosting account and have purchased the WordPress for Podcasters series. Now, what I'm doing is I am actually going to add a new domain onto my existing Bluehost hosting account. I'm going to launch a brand new blog, and I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is. Now, this is not going to be in-depth as my other tutorials. However, I am just going to do this as quickly as possible. Now, just so you know, I use GoDaddy for my domain registrations. So one of the things that I have already done is I've purchased the domain titled worthsavingfor.com. Again, that's worthsavingfor.com. Now, the very first thing that I need to do is to actually forward the name servers for my newly purchased domain over to Bluehost, and this is how I do that. And of course, GoDaddy changes everything all the time, so this could change drastically depending on when you go to their site. But the first thing you want to do is you want to go to your account, and of course that tab right now currently is on the right-hand side. And then on the left-hand side, you should be able to find your products, and you'll see domains, your hosting. Well, of course, I do have hosting with them, but your hosting is obviously with Bluehost in my circumstances here. So, but I want to go to the domain manager is what I'm looking for. So I click on domain manager. Now, once I get to the domain manager, I want to actually navigate to the domain that I'm working with. And of course, you can see I have plenty of domains here. And the one I'm looking at is worthsavingfor.com. Now, if you have purchased it through through GoDaddy, your domain, you'll notice on the left-hand side it'll show your name servers are something like domainnames.com, whatever, nameserver 32. Anyway, it doesn't matter. What you want to do, of course, I've already done this, but what you want to do is you want to just click on Set Name Servers. You want to set name servers. All right, and of course, you want to actually click the little box down here that says I have specific name servers for my domain. And name server 1 for Bluehost is going to be ns1.bluehost.com. Name server 2 is going to be ns2.bluehost.com. And once you do that, you just click OK. Now, I'm not going to click OK because I've already done this step. And so you can see here that my name servers for this domain have already been forwarded over to Bluehost. And I did that about 20 minutes ago. And after I let it sit there for a while, I went into worthsavingfor.com just to see if it brought me to Bluehost. And once it's done that, then I know that the name servers have been correctly forwarded over. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do is, and by the way, if you have your domain hosted with any other registrar, you just go in and forward your domains. Now, if you have purchased your additional domain through Bluehost, it should even be easier. You shouldn't have to do any of this step one. All right, so the next thing I want to do is go to bluehost.com, and I'm going to log into my cPanel. So I'm going to go Control Panel, Log In. It's going to ask you for your domain name and your password, and then it'll log you right in. Now, I may still be logged in, so it's going to just take me to my cPanel, which is also known as the Control Panel. Alrighty, and the next thing we want to do is, I believe this is called an add-on domain. So let me see here. Add-on domains right down here. So I'm going to click under Domains in the cPanel. I click on Add-on Domain. And let's see here, and it says here, select a domain name that you would like to assign. Now, of course, if you have other domains, I think that this is if you have your domain with Bluehost, you would choose it from there. Otherwise, use a domain that is not already associated with your account. And of course, that is going to be worthsavingfor.com. And it's verifying that domain right now. You want to make sure that you have forwarded the domains and that it is, verified that it is already forwarding. So it says here, ownership is verified. Name servers for the domain worth saving for are currently set to ns1 and ns2 at bluehost.com. All right, so the next one is, do we want an add-on domain or a parked domain? Let's see here. An add-on domain is a domain name that points to a different subdirectory on your account. that gives you the ability to make it like its own website. And that's what we want, because I want to go in here. My main domain is virtualassistantpodcast.com. But if I actually did park domain, what will happen is if I did parked domain, it would be the same as if you typed in worthsavingfor.com. It would just make it point right to virtualassistantpodcast.com, and we don't want that. We want to point it into a subfolder. Okay, now that we're doing an add-on, we need to tell it, okay, where are you going to store the information for this domain? And it's going to be in a directory that we are going to create. So if you already have an existing one, you could drop down and do a folder. But we're going to create a new folder called Worth Saving For. And as far as a subdomain, we don't really care about that at all, although it is going to create one anyway. So we're just going to go ahead and click Add Domain. And that is really all there is to it. It just takes a second. And that should be complete. There we go. And Worth Saving For over here, it says created domain record, successfully assigned worth saving for, and it even shows, you know, all the other stuff up here. So it looks to me like everything is fine. We're going to now go back to the cPanel. So if we click up here in the menu and go back to the control panel, and now what we want to do, or what I want to do, is I want to go down to software, and I'm going to click on WordPress. And here is what we are going to do. We are going to install WordPress. So we're going to do a brand new version of WordPress, and we're going to click Install. And we want the most recent version there. And of course, where do we want to install this? We want to install it on Worth Saving For, okay, which is that new directory. And of course, that is where worthsavingfor.com is automatically going to point to. All right, we're going to go to the advanced. We're going to give the site a name, and it's going to be called Worth Saving For. And the admin is going to be the username, and I'm just going to choose a password, but I'm not going to let you see. So automatically create new database. Let's see here. It is installing. That should just take just a moment. And of course, it's telling you everything there, and I have to block out that username and password again. But anyway, it would appear that it says your new website is ready. So if I'm not mistaken, I should be able to just go in and type in worthsavingfor.com, which, remember, before just took you to like this crazy WordPress or Bluehost thing. And here is my WordPress installation. So literally, that is all there is to it. I can click Login and do my password and tell it to remember me, and click Login. And there I am. I am inside my brand new domain for worthsavingfor.com. So there is one final step that I need to tell you about, and here's what I want you to see. If we type in worthsavingfor.com, you'll notice that, of course, it keeps the domain name right up here in the address bar, no problem at all. But if I were to like reload any page, like for example the About page or any place else, you'll notice that it's actually going to default back to virtualassistantpodcast.com / that subdirectory which we created, and then whatever the page ID is. So how do we fix that? We simply go into the administrative panel for your WordPress. So we can go down here and just click Site Admin. And then on the dashboard of your WordPress installation, you go down to General. And once you get in there, you'll see your WordPress address URL and site URL. And now that we have everything set up correctly, we should be able to just take out the virtualassistant.com virtualassistantpodcast.com, which was my main directory, remember. And we're going to change it to where everything's going to be straight from worthsavingfor.com. So I'm just going to highlight that there, paste it in, delete that out, paste it in. So you want the WordPress installation and the site address to say that this WordPress installation, that it actually exists in the main directory called worthsavingfor.com. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on that. But anyway, right here we go. So we're worth saving for, and if I click the About page, there you go. And of course, you see the question mark page _ ID equals 2. Now, of course, we covered this in the WordPress for Podcasters. To get that to change, we're just going to go down into the settings, and we're going to change where it actually has the permalinks. So there's the permalinks, and we just want to go in and change the structure to custom/post name. So, and again, that's all in the original tutorial as well. And now, if I go back to the site, and then I click the About page, you'll see it's worthsavingfor.com/about. Well, my friends, that is all there is to it. For those of you who are just checking out this bonus material, I am releasing this available on YouTube just to kind of show off some of the additional benefits that you get when you buy video training packages from me. Occasionally, I think of some additional information that I'd like to provide as additional value beyond what I originally promised, and that's what this is. And of course, I do want to let people know this is bonus material for something I have called WordPress for Podcasters. And if you go to podcastanswerman.com/products, you just want to scroll down until you get to the place where you see WordPress for Podcasters. Basically, this is a 90-minute training tutorial where within 90 minutes I take somebody who had no domain name, they had no hosting account, and within that 90-minute time frame, I actually show you, just like I did here, I show you how to register your domain and set up your hosting account with Bluehost hosting. I show you how to install WordPress. I show you how to configure WordPress, everything you need to configure as far as setting it up for categories for podcasting, setting up your RSS feeds. I explain to you what plugins are, how to install plugins, what plugins to install, and how to configure them. I also helped share how to do just some basic customization of the theme, and also showed how to post new episodes of your podcast to your website. And we also recorded a sample little short episode, put it on the website, and submitted the podcast to FeedBurner. And then, of course, we took the FeedBurner feed and submitted it to iTunes. And within 90 minutes, it was done. It's all shown step by step. And just like you could follow along in this little video tutorial, you could follow that video tutorial and be able to pretty much follow in the footsteps of the step-by-step guide. Anyway, if you're interested in that, again, that's over at podcastanswerman.com/products. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day. God bless you. Bye-bye.